kiddos, today we are going to read a story and then we are going to answer questions. So I'm going to show you what it looks like and then we're going to do this every day this week. So today I'm really going to guide you through and help you to get started on this. So we're going to read a one-page story and then we have some different questions that we're going to answer, and we are going to have to highlight or color, not using markers. If we use a highlighter, that's okay, unless it starts bleeding through the paper. And then we'll just use colored pencils. Okay, and so there's 2 pages of questions. So let's get right over here to the story. So the first thing I want to tell you about the stories are that they are down more at a level that's easy for you to understand. Now I'm going to read this first one to you just to help you out so that we can talk about it a little bit. And then for the rest of the days, I'm going to ask that you read them. So let's begin. My fish Spike. And I want you to notice that sometimes we number paragraphs and sometimes we letter paragraphs. So we can see that this is paragraph A, paragraph B, paragraph C, D, E, and F. That's a great idea to do no matter what you're reading. Paragraph A. My family has a big fish tank in the front room. It is really long and tall. Inside the tank, we have a fish and plants. There are different kinds of fish. Some are fast swimmers and some are slow. One of the fish hides under the rock on the bottom. He is really shy. When we first got him, I searched every morning for his hiding spots. I could sometimes find him by watching for tiny bubbles that he blew. I followed the bubbles down to the bottom and looked for his eyes to move. My sister Emma named him Dusty. I wonder if that's because it's dusty at the bottom. I don't know. Oh, right there it says that. When he moves around, the sand stirs up in the water like dust in the air. So we know that they have a family. They have a big fish tank. They have a fish that they named Dusty, and he hides at the bottom. Those are important for us to know what happens in the first paragraph. Paragraph B. Last month, we got a new fish from the store. My mom let me pick him out. He is a lionfish, and I named him Spike. His fins stick out all like spikes all around his body. I think he looks like a porcupine. They made a comparison. The first day he came home to our tank, he hid behind a rock. I asked my mom if Spike was sick, but she said, he's just being shy. It is his first day in his new home. The next day he came out and started swimming all around. I learned how to feed Spike, and I like to watch him eat. He is a really fast swimmer. One day I asked my mom, do you think Spike is ever sad that he is the only lionfish in our tank? Does he miss his family at the fish store? She told me that he was born in the ocean, not a fish store. He moved to the fish store before coming to live at our house. I know where the ocean is. We go there on the weekends when it is sunny. Emma and I build big sandcastles and play ball. I have been there many times, but I have never seen a fish like Spike. Last weekend, we went to the beach. I asked my mom if I could bring Spike. I could fill the ice box, like a cooler, that's another name for a cooler, with water for the ride. So when I read that, I thought, oh, he's going to put ice in it? No, he's just going to use a big cooler and put water in it for the ride to the ocean. Spike could then visit his friends at the ocean. Mom said that the water is much too cold at the beach. Spike is from a warm part of the ocean that is far away. I don't like swimming in cold water either. Our fish tank is warm, like the ocean that Spike is from. When we came home from the beach, I told Spike about our day. He is always happy to see me and swims fast around his warm home. Okay, let's see. Right off the bat, let's put your name and got mine. Okay, so I'm going to put my name. Okay, Now we're going to go to the next page. This says write 5 questions. You're not answering this. You're writing questions that could be found in the story. So I could write, I'm going to change my font size a little bit. Who is the main character in this story? That would be a good question. Maybe I could write, who got a new fish in this story? Maybe I could write, who is narrating this story? But you can use my answer today, but you have to think of a question that starts with who. Next, you have to ask a question that starts with what. And remember, it would need to be capitalized. So maybe you could put, what kind of water does Spike like to live in? Maybe that would be one. Then you have to have a question that starts with where. Where did Spike used to live? Don't forget, you're writing the question. You're not answering it. You're starting with the capital letter and you're putting a question mark behind. Then you have to ask a why question and a how question. Number 2, we're going to use an orange something, crayon, colored pencil, but I want you to go back to the story. And it says, when did the boy get a new fish named Spike? So we're going to go back to this story and we're going to get, and I'm going to get mine. I think I can get it orange. I sure can. Okay, so when did the boy, is that what it says? When did the boy get a new fish named Spike? Last month, we got a new fish from the store. There you go. Okay, right there, we just underlined where you got that information. Now, if it's easy, I don't care if you highlight. I mean, I don't know if I have a highlighter on here. But I think as long as you are making sure that I understand that this is all where you got that information. Okay. Now, I want to go back. Number 3, yellow. What does Spike look like? Okay, so I'm going to go back to the story. I'm going to find my yellow. What does Spike look like? His fins stick out like spikes all around his body. I think he looks like a porcupine. There you go. So I'm finding in the story right where things take place. Okay, let's look here. Number 3, you're going to get blue. Why is a fish tank a better home for Spike instead of the ocean by the boy's house? I do think that that was down at the bottom. Spike, so why is a fish tank better than the ocean? Spike is from a warm part of the ocean that is far away, and our fish tank is warm, like Spike's ocean. So there we go. We found where the blue was at. All right, let's go back. Number 5, write 1 to 3 words that sum up the topics of the following paragraphs. So we have to go to paragraph A and we have to go to paragraph C, and we're looking for what they are about. So let's go. What is paragraph A? What is all of this about? It's about my family has a fish tank. It's about a fish that hides. So I'm looking for a word that's used a lot. I see fish there. I see fish there. I think this one's about a fish. Whoop. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to get this one. I'm going to say this one paragraph is about a fish. Oops. I don't know what happened. Let me get my text. Fish. Oh, boys and girls, it's not letting me do that. There we go, fish. So it is about a fish. Now let's look at paragraph C. What is paragraph C? The first day he came home to our tank, he hid behind a rock. I asked my mom if Spike was sick, and she said he's being shy. It is his first day in a new home. The next day he came out and started swimming all around, and I learned how to feed Spike, and I like to watch him. I think this one is a good place to say, this one is about Spike. Remember to use a capital letter because that is his name. Now, underline 3 important words in this text. So any word that you want, that you think is important, okay? And I think the word, this is important, like tank. I think that's super important. So I'm gonna, it says to underline it. There we go. Tank, I think is important. I think ocean was important. Okay, and what else do I think was important in here? I think Spike, because that's what we didn't talk about Dusty except for up here. So, and we talked about Spike quite a bit. So I found 3 words that I think are important. Okay, and then last down here it says summarize the story. I want to remind you, when we summarize, we look for someone. So you're going to tell me who was in the story, what was the story about, or what was happening. So somebody wanted, and then you're going to tell me if there's something that went wrong or if there's something that was learned. So I really think I'm going to say there was a boy that got a new fish, and the fish was living in the fish tank. The boy wondered if he was shy or didn't like it, and he wanted to take the fish to the ocean to meet his friends, and his mom said that the ocean water wasn't good. So remember, this is somebody wanted, but, so, then. That just gives us an idea of the things that we need to write in a summary. And your summary should be pretty long. And I mean, it should cover most of these lines. Okay, remember that you need complete sentences. Ooh, cite the evidence. So you're going to use something like, the story says that a boy got a new fish. So right there, when I have this, the story says, well, I'm not going to be able to do that. I thought I could. There. That part right there, that is citing evidence because I said the story says. Or you could say in chapter 3, the boy says that Spike liked to hide behind the rock. But that's how we cite evidence, and that's how we're going to work on it. And you're going to restate the question. Okay, but there wasn't really a question in this one. Okay, now you're to the next page. You're going to circle the beginning of the story. What is the circle? What's the beginning of the story? Right here. The introduction. This is the beginning of the story. Okay, so now let's go back. And it says, describe, these go together. Describe how the author introduces the story. How does the author begin it? The author tells us about the fish in the family fish tank, period. Now, what else does it tell us? Because that's not enough. It tells us the fish hides under the bottom, and Emma named, and his sister named him Dusty. The author tells us about the fish in the family fish tank. In paragraph 1, it says the sister named the fish Dusty because the fish hid in the bottom. So I think you're getting an idea of what I'm going to want here. So then it says describe what happens in the middle story. Let's go back and look. Your middle of the story is, whoops, can't move that. Get my pencil. Your middle of the story is all of this. Okay? So you're going to tell me a little bit of what happened in the middle of that. And then down here it says circle the end of the story and describe how the author concludes. Another word for that is ends. So I'm going to go back. How does the author, this is the end, and it said to circle it. It says, our fish tank is warm like the ocean that Spike is from. When we came home from the beach, I told Spike about our day. He is always happy to see me and swims around fast. So we've circled it. How does the author conclude the story? The author says in the last paragraph that the fish is happy to see the boy and it swims fast. Okay. Now you have to get a pink one. Color the text that helps you understand the boy's character. What kind of boy is this? Is he a mean boy? Is he a happy boy? Is he a nice boy? Is he an inquisitive boy? Is he a curious boy? So you're going to find some pink areas and then you're going to highlight them and you're going to write in your own words what kind of person you think he is. Remember, we're trying to use full sentences. Then the last one, you're going to find a green crayon or colored pencil. You're going to color the text that helps you imagine a picture of the setting. The setting is usually in the beginning paragraph. It usually helps us understand where things are happening and then describe the setting in your own word. So I'm going to give you a little clue on that one and I'm going to say it's up here. They have a large tank in the front room. It's long, it's tall, and it has fish and plants inside. That is all the setting helping us understand that. Okay, you get all of that done, and that will be due on Wednesday. And then we will do our next story, which is called Packing to Move. Have a great day.